Hello, today is 23rd September 2020. Today in this video we'll be discussing the Hindu editorial page analysis. This is a cartoon of the day. It is self-explanatory. As the government is not listening to anyone, they are introducing the bills. There might be a Farmers Act or some other bills, and the respective persons or just spectators cannot do anything. This is what the picture exactly depicts the present government scenario. But before I begin, I am Prashant. I welcome you all to YFS Study Karo, where I do daily editorials, job updates, interesting facts, technical glitches. There are two articles to be focused into today's discussion. The first article is regarding the e-learning platform of India. So due to this pandemic situation, everybody is at their respective houses. So the learning platform has drastically changed, and more often they need to equip to this online education system. Most of these teachers or the one who is tutoring in the online are not that or proficient or prominent in that place. So this is what the author finds it, how that is affecting the different cultures or some of the underprivileged communities, and how this platform is not fulfilling its perfect task. So in a poorly performing educational system, because of this system, due to pandemic, Indian education system has even worsened, because it is not reaching to the every part of the India, every nook and corners of the parts of India. So this poorly performing education system in the country, online learning may not usher a great revolution. So what authors tells is that there should be equality of opportunities to all of one is a basic principle of our constitution. And also author just quotes this way: an environment is which some are limited will always in a reaction create some conditions that prevent the full development, even to those whose fancy they enjoy complete freedom in the unhindered growth. So this is what the education system should be. It should provide a freedom and also provide a capability that is called in unhindered growth. So one must lead the child's current interest and abilities and organically to logically organized human knowledge. The second point is an indicator and quality of education which is lagging in this e-learning platform, because it is not reaching different parts of India. So our education system was never very efficient even in the best of the times, but due to this COVID-19, this pandemic had rendered extremely biased and faulty this kind of system. So the main thirst, it means that providing learning opportunities while schools are shut in online teaching. So there are also several set of guidelines and plans issued by the respective departments by the government, that is NCERT, National Council of Education Research and Training, and also Central Board of Secondary Education CBSE for this purpose. So they have set some guidelines and plans to upload different educational institutions to go online, and also upload the respective subject lectures online. So it is kind of an exaggeration. Also there is an inequality, because it is not reaching the pedagogical issue leading to the bad quality of education, and there is a lack of concepts. There is no proper focus on concept which is dealt in the class itself. So in our society there is no large momentum that may generate any hope of an improved situation in terms of equality and social justice. Therefore, any positive change that might come about will be a cumulative result in the development of capabilities, and this is what agreed to individuals, because there is no cumulative growth and also there is no result, because it is kind of just one man show rather than interactive. So this is lacking in the e-learning platform of education, because most of them are biased, because everyone is not that focused rather than just completing the syllabus, and also there is lack of proper focus on concepts. So government began to plan for the students with no online classes access and only by the end of August, but the plan themselves will usually a glib talk always served for the poor. So these plans assume a semi-literate or illiterate parents teaching children, community involvement, mobile pools, and so on. So development of these capabilities is again agreed to individuals. So after the COVID-19, this thirst is even continuing, but government have to think in alternative mode of education, such as developing the app and also reaching the different parts of India, and also rural background students who doesn't have access to the computer or this kind of internet education. So after this COVID-19, even this, at least the government should think of the case of education to be developed and also more equipped with the circumstances, what author tells in this article. The next article is regarding the language and also law comprehensible. So what had happened before we get into this article, the draft environment impact assessment, so that was not in 22 languages, it was only in 2 languages, that is English and Hindi. But the government, central government refused to translate in 22 languages because they are focusing upon Hindi language. So this is against the law. So what happened is the background. So the demand for greater availability of laws and public records in 22 languages according to Schedule 8 is the must, and it is also not a big task for government. But the recent litigation over the language, in which the draft environmental impact assessment notification 2020 are published, and also brought much needed attention to this issue of official language used by the central government in its functioning. So this is a trigger debate and has been the litigations by citizens who protested against the publication of the draft EIA notification only in 2 languages, English and Hindi, also on the respective grounds, and which excludes a large number of Indians who does not speak Hindi or English from participating in public consultation process. So while the 2 courts have asked the government to publish this notification in different language, that is 22 languages mentioned in Schedule 8 to the Constitution, the central government is pushing back against this order and also arguing that it is not required by the law to publish in these notifications, or that is into 22 languages. But the reason offered by the government is for resisting the translation of the notification into 22 languages is that the meaning of the words being obfuscated, means it changes the exact meaning of the statement, and also often even lost. This is what the government had said, and also argued that if you translate in different languages, the crux of that policy or the meaning will be changed. This is what the central government had told regarding this translation, thereby leading a greater legal uncertainty. So it is incredible by the government and also world's largest democracy to make such a claims, but there exists certain central law called Authoritative Text, that is Central Laws Act 1973, which creates a legal mechanism to recognize authoritative translations of central laws into languages mentioned in Schedule 8 to the Constitution of India. So this is what it had done in Authoritative Text Central Laws Act 1973. So this law extends rules and also delegated legislation and also some of the laws. So legislative department and law ministry hosts these translations on this website. These are what authorities who will be translating into different languages according to the authoritative text center law. So separating from the questions of accuracy and also translations is also a larger policy question regarding the language used by the central government for communicating with the public. So the Official Language Act 1963 requires some publications of the law in only English and Hindi. So at the very least, an inclusive language policy must be an integral and also lawmaking and enforcement process. They should include mandatorily publishing all parliamentary debates and also associated records such as reports of parliamentary committee and the entire record of the Gazette of India, and also legislation records into translated to be in 22 languages, that is incorporated according to Schedule 8. This is what the author finds. Everything should be translated into 22 languages so that every part of India and the people in different states, the one who doesn't speak English, then one who doesn't speak Telugu, they will also be accessible, because if it is translated into regional language as well. And also the author compares with this translation of different acts and also different statements with the European Union, because even the European Union have also translated in different aspects, and also they also have a proper law regarding these translations of their regional languages. So this translation should be a legal right. So the author tells is that making a language also of the law is also comprehensible because the government is refusing. So this is what the author finds it regarding the EIA. It should be translated in 22 different languages, and also there should be a legal right of translation which should be comprehensible. That's the end of article discussion. If you are new to my channel, I request you all to subscribe so that you will not miss any further updates. Thank you. Have a great day.